let's take a look at where these teams were predicted to finish in the preseason. And a little bit different for both of them, but right around the same spot. They're, of course, both in the MAC West. We'll take a look at the Chippewas first. They were picked to finish 4th in that MAC West. Again, preseason rankings don't really matter, but we like to look at them anyways.
Absolutely.
You know that.
Absolutely. And it's nice to see the Chippewas, a young squad, to be considered, you know, I would consider that a great rating for a young squad, having primarily a lot of new players, new setter, loss of Caitlin McIntyre. You know, this is a team that's pretty much unrecognizable to the ones that they've seen.
Angie White was the one member for the Chippewas that was picked to be on the All-MAC team. Flip it over to Ball State. They were picked to finish just one spot ahead in 3rd. And you take a look right there at Callie Hopkins. She was also predicted to be on that MAC team as well. Another one, too, Jenna Spadafora as well for Ball State. So both these teams, right now, Ball State's got the better record in the conference, 3-1. Chippewas 1-3, but picked to finish at about the same spot in the conference. And right now, the Chippewas with a bit of surprise. Again, facing some adversity this week, but they're up 2-0, and they'll start with the serve here in this 3rd set.
After a quick chat with the R1.
Jordan Wolfus will get us going, the freshman libero for Central Michigan. And after the 10-minute break, we're ready for more volleyball. Chippewas in front, 2-0. Game 3 underway.
Nice pass, going to that slide. Whoa.
And a block up front for the Chippewas to get it started. 1-0 CMU.
They are just hot on the trail of that slide. Ball State might have to figure out a different offensive strategy. Hopefully you see their outsides be a little bit more dynamic this set.
Be interesting to see the adjustments that Coach Shondell made. He's got a lot of experience.
Going to Hopkins again, and absolutely, I put my trust in that kid probably 100% of the time.
To the near side. Blocked back, kept alive by CMU to Robertson. Good job by Filling to get underneath of it. And then a powerful hit
from freshman Ellie Dunn. And that was nice to see her get a nice hard swing right in front of Jamie Wolfus.
The freshman from Illinois came into this one with 116 kills. Also does it up front, too, with 22 blocks coming into tonight's match. We're tied at 1. Vasilakis.
Oh.
And Robertson has it blocked back into the net. Comes back towards her, and a point for Ball State.
Yep, the blocking for Ball State stiffed out that play pretty well. And then Angie and Taylor were pretty well covered. It might have been a smarter move to shoot that all the way out to the outside.
They came in with 2.76 blocks per game, per match, I should say. And that's something, again, Coach Shondell and his teams pride themselves in their defense. And that's something that they need to do better, obviously, in this match if they want to come back. But they're off to a great start here in set 3.
We'll see if they can better utilize it this set. They had that same great start that second set.
No deflection in Ball State. Again, another point for the Cardinals. Mike Tree trying to get it across. It was out of bounds. 4-1, Ball State.
And this is something that my experience with the Central team haven't been great coming out of the locker room and having a great start that third set. Maybe we start pretty well that first set, but the third set's a little shaky, and you can't do that against a team like Ball State who's never going to give up, never going to stop pushing you.
Sanchez to Beater, who hits it hard on that back row.
What a great dig by Vasilakis. What an excellent move to her right. She is having a fantastic game.
Having a fantastic season as well, but it's Angie White that gets the put down, and the Chippewas get a side out.
We've got a little bit of a libero battle statistically. After those first two sets, Vasilakis, at 11, Wolfus at 13, so just neck and neck. It's anybody's game in the libero department.
And a great shot across from the Cardinals. 5-2 Ball State.
And those swings are always tough to block when they push that middle front over and have her come off 1 foot. Those are tough to track because as a middle blocker, you've got to have eyes on 2 to 3 people at a time, and that's not in your field of vision. Great rip apart of the block by Jess Maitre there.
Jessica Lindsay couldn't quite get squared up to block that one back across the net, goes out of bounds, and the Chippewas get the side out. 5-3. Courtney Hildebrand in to serve for Central Michigan. Came in with a 94% average from behind the line. That ball drops, though, and goes to Ball State as they are able to get the ball back.
Looks like they're going to keep filling in the front row, which is where I'm used to seeing her.
Got a sub coming in for the Cardinals to serve. Bailey Balmer back.
Good choice to keep filling in the front row, playing primarily back row in that first set. Hitting 1,000 after that second set. Can't go wrong with keeping that kid in, especially when you're struggling in the offense on the outside.
Angie White misses wide, and Ball State adds on to their lead, 7-3. A start that the Cardinals needed. They had it in set 2. Took a 4-0 lead, but Central Michigan came back. Right now, they've built a 4-point lead.
They're extending it quite nicely. What a great choice by Jordan Buter. I like that play. That is something I always enjoyed being a part of for Central Michigan, was the dynamic play calling. You know, you see that 31-1 call and that 2-1 call right there, where that outside has that high ball right behind the middle. Sometimes you run in the risk of running into each other, but other times it's very successful.
Laura Wilson has served well tonight. She gets it across. But a big kill for the Cardinals once again. Emily Holland comes up with the point, and she'll go back to serve. 4-point lead again for the Cardinals.
And that kid is awesome. You know, you'll see a freshman that'll come in, and they don't look quite comfortable in their own bodies, but she's got poise. She's got a heavy arm. She looks good in the back row, which is, you know, you don't see that very often with middles. So that's pretty exciting. That's an exciting 4-year career ahead of her.
And a lot of probable and interesting players on this Ball State roster. All of them outside of the seniors, very young. The freshmen have been terrific for the Cardinals early on in this season. Have to expect them to go on to have great careers in Muncie.
And forced to give a free ball. We'll see if Ball State can convert. They're going to go to Hopkins. Great choice. Nice dig by Courtney Hildebrandt. Yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of fishing in the net there.
And that'll go to the Chippewas. An easy call. Mulford was asking for it, and she got it. And Central Michigan gets the point.
You know, you'd rather see your kid grab the net than go down. Absolutely. That's something my mom always taught me. She said, if you're going down, just grab the net, get rid of the point, and it'll save your ankles. It's a good call, Mom.
Serve off the top of the net. Blocked down, Robertson. Chippewas are within one.
You know, you can't go get on filling for that heavy swing. You haven't seen your outsides go after it like filling just went after it. And that's a good risk. Sometimes you're going to get it back in your face, and that was Caitlin McIntyre's career. You know, I'm just going to hit hard.
Sanchez gets another bounce over the net once again.
Good control swing by filling. She is just what the Ball State offense needs. A little bit of control on that outside. Take that pressure off Hopkins.
And the Cardinals in front by 2. Lauren Schreiner back to serve, another freshman. Standing serve across. Wolfis goes down. Tapped across. And a great play. We don't see the power on that play from Kelly Hopkins, but great placement to get the Cardinals a 3-point lead.
Absolutely, and you can see the Chippewa passing is breaking down, and once you see passing break down, offense goes right along with it. There's not a lot you can do when you're not passing well. And there's a good pass from Jamie Wolfis, so we'll see. Low set by Sanchez, but Callie did a pretty good job getting rid of it.
But again, it's Ball State down that far side. You know who. Kelly Hopkins with the point, and a timeout. First of the night for the Chippewas, and it's 11-7. Cardinals have come out there playing well, not committing the errors that we saw in those first 2 sets, Hallie, and they build a 4-point lead, deservedly so.
Absolutely, and I think you've got to credit Coach Shondell for making that outside switch and getting filling in there. You know, after hitting 1,000, 3 for 3 in that second set, she's really evened out that offense, not put so much stress on Hopkins to get a kill every time, because that's not the kind of player she is. You know, she's going to give you those errors, but she's going to give you those momentum points as well. And filling has really done a good job of taking that pressure off of her so she can be more successful.
Again, I thought Ball State has played well tonight outside of being able to get the blocks at the front of the net in those first 2 serves. And then as we touched down at the break, just the opportunity to come up with, or not commit errors. And they had committed errors, a lot of them 18 through those first 2 games. They've limited those here, and now they've taken the lead as the Chippewas in the huddle. What do you have to do coming out of that to change things around here in this 3rd set?
You've got to pass, and we've got to connect with our middles. The middle connection for Central Michigan is vital to their success. And if they don't have that pass and that middle connection, they turn into a pretty vanilla team.
All right, 11-7 Cardinals, and we resume here in this 3rd game.
Past the 10-foot line pretty much limits you to running that outside. Good roll shot choice for Taylor Robertson.
Wolfis sets it up nicely. Robertson just tries to tap it over.
Great push by Vasilakis. She is really doing one of a job. Don't know what I was trying to say there, but it was a compliment for sure.
She has been terrific. The senior leader out there from Madison, Indiana. Check that from Yorktown, Indiana.
Yeah, it was like Madison. They've got one of those in Indiana?
They do.
Jordan Beater to the service line. Now, this is not one where you want to see her go 100%. A big thing that Eric was, we got to work into our serves. And that was a great controlled serve, and she'll get a little bit harder every time she serves that ball.
Mike Tree taps it across. Good defense by the Cardinals. Tapped back down by Mulford.
Great discipline by Kelly Mulford on that block.
Wolf is unable to handle the hot shot. And Ball State back in front, now by 5.
You can visually see the difference between these 2 teams. When Ball State is down, they do not change their facial expression. They do not change their demeanor. When Central is down, you can see it. You could walk into the gym without seeing the score, and you know what's going on. With Ball State, they don't let it affect them as much as the Central team is.
Wouldn't be able to tell that the Cardinals are down 2-0, playing well in this 3rd set. Sanchez did all she could to not touch the net and try and keep it in play. Tough though there, and the Chippewas unable to get the side out. 14-8 Ball State.
It's a simple fix for this Central team. Pick up your energy, and I guarantee your game goes with it. Tough with filling at the service line, though.
And
wow.
She gets the ace right on cue.
Those drop-offs are not easy to pass, because you see that ball coming in deep, and all of a sudden it'll tail off right at the net or the 10-foot line, and as a passer, you're like, well, that's that.
2013 MAC first-teamer Filling gets it across. Mike Tree trying to get the side out. She can. It's too long, and Filling will get another opportunity to serve. Ball State has now doubled up the Chippewas 16-8.
Chippewa pin hitters, last couple receptions, they've all been tips, roll shots. They've lost their aggressiveness, kind of a fear of making mistakes and getting any more down. Another tip from Robertson, but that'll score.
And the Chippewas get the side out. A big point for CMU.
It's a good thing to see Angie White coming back in here. If we can get the ball to her, you could probably regain the lead or get close.
Spadafora was unable to handle that tip. She sends it across herself. Sanchez is there. Blocked down to the near side, out of bounds. Back-to-back points.
And that is great growth by Taylor Robertson. There's a lot of time to think when you get a high ball like that, especially, just when you get a high ball like that, you've got a lot of time to think, and sometimes those thoughts aren't always great. So for her to be able to handle that ball is really nice to see.
Blocked down by White. Vasilakis tried to keep it alive, but it falls to the floor, and the Chippewas pulling to within 5, 3 straight points, trying to rally back.
And this is when you want to score the points. You got Ellie Dunn in the front row, who's hitting 0 on the night. Not really sure what she's hitting now, but after those first 2 sets, so you want to hold them where they've only got one big offensive gun.
Again, White sniffs out and makes the block. 4-point game. And a timeout called by Coach Shondell. Spadafora tried to skip a step and just send it over herself, and Angie White with a terrific play there, ready to go. And it's a 4-point lead for the Cardinals.
And that is not easy to do, especially to commit when you've got Hopkins just on the right side. If you commit incorrectly, you're not only getting yelled at by your coaching staff, but you're missing a big gun who's going after your defense.
Well, it was a 16-8 lead for Ball State. Looked like they were running away, but the Chippewas, they needed an answer. You said it, the energy need to be picked up, they did. They've come back with 4 straight, forced the timeout. They're right back in this third game.
Absolutely. And that's Shondell feeling that momentum and knowing if they get that anymore, they're going to run away with this set. So him calling this timeout, trying to ice that momentum is a good call. He knows his Central squad thrives off of being crazy and having energy. And if they have that, maybe his Ball State team doesn't come away with this set and has to go home early.
Timeout's so big in any sport, but certainly in volleyball, it's a unique situation. The momentum is so quickly transferred back and forth. And it's a good way to get your team, gather them up, slow them down. And usually when teams take that timeout, as you said, Hallie, they'll come back and respond. We'll see if the Cardinals do here. The freshman Wolfis will serve it across. Chippewas trailing by 4, but ahead 2-0.
Great job, Jamie, making that serve after timeout. A little bit of miscommunication there between the setter and Hopkins. You know, you want to get her the ball. I absolutely agree, you got a setter, but that's a tough set. Your setter, you're setting back. You can't see what you're setting. A great thing to do is to have your middle set and try and set backward and see. See, your setter has no idea what she's doing when she's setting backwards. And that's what they tried to do 1 point ago, and now it's successful.
They go right back to the same play. Didn't work the first time, try it again, and this time Hopkins comes up with the kill.
Absolutely, and they know if they keep going back to her, she's going to be there. She's not breaking down for just anything.
Here's the senior libero, lob serve to the near side, Robertson. Point, Chippewas.
And that is a key aspect of the Central offense. If you pass that ball, you short pass that ball, we'll give it to you. Absolutely, because you're just all fired up that you nailed that pass. You're going to put this one away. You got confidence built up, so we'll let you get a kill here.
The senior Haley Barker checks in for CMU. Dons the number 1.
Nice controlled serve.
Good effort from Beater in the back, but a lot of power. That one goes out of bounds.
She has really improved defensively, just with foot quickness, foot speed. And it was something she really struggled with her freshman year, and she was really limited to only play those through rotation. And she's such an asset in that middle back, hitting that bick, that they need her to be able to play all the way around. So her ability to do that really adds a third dimension to this team.
Backline shot for Angie White, and the Chippewas are back to within 3. The senior with a big kill.
You'd love to see a huge push from the Central Michigan team right now. These two teams are just really resilient, and it's a great match right now.
Ball State needs to win this game to keep this match alive.
An easy free ball, see if they'll convert. Little short on the set, great fast arm by Angie White to get that over. Good controlled swing by Filling.
Beater tees it up, tries again. Vasilakis puts it up in the air. White has it blocked. And a free ball over to the Chippewas. Tap down, Beater with the kill.
Great volley by both sides. Fantastic. Vasilakis is just running the back row, keeping hopes alive. And she wasn't able to get that one because it was just nowhere near where she was, but I'm sure she would have gotten it if she was.
8-point lead, down to 2. Cardinals need a side out, and they get it. Wow.
That kid's good. Whoa.
Emily Howland, just a freshman, a 6'3" freshman at that. And she hammered that one.
Great choice by Spadafora to get that ball to her, because Angie White bit and went with the dump on that one. And Setter hit her up pretty nicely.
Chippewas respond, though. They're back to within 2. Check out the replay here. Sanchez getting it across. And it's a 2-point lead.
Nice to have Wilson at the service line for this critical moment. She's been pretty clutch this evening.
Wilson has been good. Blocked down, Sanchez with back-to-back points. And CMU is within 1.
I cannot stress enough how awesome she has been for this Central Michigan team. It is not something that we've had in the 4 years that I've played, a setter that is able to be as physical as she is, and it's so exciting to see that. Got a touch on the block there, no coverage.
And a big point for the Cardinals back in front.
3-point lead here. If the push is going to come for Central Michigan, it's got to come now. You don't want to waste any time.
21-17, Ball State in front. A couple of subs. Carly Capello comes in. She replaces Emily Holland.
You can understand that substitution. You don't want your big kid in the back row when you can have someone a little bit more agile for that serve.
I think they're checking the score right now. I don't believe it's 21-17. Coach Beckman over there at the scores table for the Chippewas, making sure that they've got it right. So the two teams will regroup right now as they get this figured out. What a great third game that we've had so far. Terrific start from Ball State. We saw that in set two. And just like set two, we've seen the Chippewas respond, but the Cardinals have been up to that response. They've still got a small lead and obviously have to get this game. How do they close this one out?
By keeping this consistency, absolutely. The Chippewas have shown that they can get down emotionally, absolutely, and if Ball State forces them into that, then they're going to take this set. But a huge key point for them taking this set will be filling, having her step up and give them an extra dimension offensively. She's been great in the back row. She's been great in the front row. She's taken pressure off the middles and allowed them to have less receptions and more success. So going to her is definitely going to be a key to them taking this one.
Still waiting to see what the score is as the two scorers over across from us at center court confirming with each other. The two officials right in front of us, as you see on your screen, talking things over, making sure points certainly important, definitely in set three. When the Cardinals need to have it, the Chippewas trying to close it out.
Yeah, I was counting the score, but then I ran out of fingers, so that's about as helpful as I am.
Thank God they don't put us in charge of that, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm an art major. You gave me a microphone, so I don't know who's in charge right now.
21-7, Ball State in front. Thanks for joining us. We're here inside McGurk Arena for some action, volleyball style. Adam Jacksa, Hallie Enderle, the former Chippewa volleyball player, here alongside of me, and we've witnessed a great match, a surprising start for the Chippewas. They were able to win the first game as we go back 25-13, then took the second game 25-21. That's where they have the two-game lead. And right now the score again on your screen says 21-17. We're not sure if that's the actual score. They're getting that checked out right now.
And we have absolutely nothing to offer. If they come over here and ask us, I don't know what we're going to do.
You weren't keeping score by yourself over there?
No. Just trying to say smart things. That's what I'm doing here.
We look ahead as we've got a moment. The Chippewas will play again tomorrow night. They'll be back at home. They take on Toledo, who has struggled this year, 0-4 in the conference. So potentially if Central Michigan can win this one in front of their home crowd, they could potentially win again tomorrow. Two big wins after a tough week for them would be huge for this program. Flip it over to Ball State. Again, they're coming off a tough loss to Western Michigan. They've struggled on the road, and that's something we haven't touched on. They've been great at home, 5-1, just 2-4 on the road. They play the Chippewas here tonight, of course, and then they head out to Ypsilanti to take on Eastern Michigan. But you talked about it, home environments in volleyball, especially in the MAC, they do matter, and that's the case for both CMU and for Ball State.
And looks like we've got a score change that puts Central at 18 and Ball State at 20. What a great challenge by Teresa Beckman. That really puts them in a much better position. Obviously, if you can do math, you can understand that.
All right, so a 2-point lead for the Cardinals. Big point right here.
And a pretty good service reception by Haley Barker. And a kill.
Jordan Beater, the sophomore. 20-19. Central Michigan has been within one. They have not been able to tie since they got behind by 8 points earlier. Got a chance here.
And a very important tie it will be.
Nicole Sanchez has been fantastic tonight. She gets it across.
You haven't seen the service errors that they led off with. They've had very excellent service control that they didn't show last weekend against Akron. They missed a ton of serves, and that was a big reason that they didn't come away with that match. But this match, they've really buckled down at the service line, and they've been doing well.
20-20. Sanchez.
Just as I say that. Seriously?
The jinx. It's current right now. Miss Enderle.
Knocked on wood, but this looks like laminate. So.
21-20. Cardinals get the side out. And Lauren Schreiner back to serve for Ball State.
You're going to want to side out on this one. Oh, no.
Back-to-back service errors, first from the Chippewas, next from the Cardinals, and we're back tied at 21.
It couldn't have worked out any better for Central.
Best server on the Chippewa team, back with the ball in her hands right now. Tied at 21, crucial point in the match.
A little bit of a lob there, you know. You want to be able to make sure you're getting that ball in.
Chippewas will go on the attack. Beater pushes it across.
Love to see someone go for it right now, and of course it's going to be Hopkins.
Hopkins, the senior, 6'4", and a big point to put the Cardinals back in front, 22-21.
And that's where you get to the end of a set and you start seeing hitters be a little bit cautious, but not Hopkins. She's like, well, if I'm going down, I'm just going to swing as hard as I can, and that's something I've always admired in players, the ability to do that.
Alex Filling has served very well tonight for the Cardinals. She sends it across. Mulford with some power.
What a great dig after a service error. By Schreiner. That was an excellent dig. Such a quick move. I can't even fathom doing it. I would probably just run away. But that's probably because I'm 6'3". So
22-22. Wolfis to serve for the Chippewas. Cardinals trying to take the lead back. Deflected by White, kept alive in the back. Sanchez to the near side.
A little wide set there. Taylor had to get rid of it.
Opportunity for Ball State. Deflected, yes, and a point for the Cardinals, back in front by 1.
Love to see Filling taking those risks in the back row right now. She's been so solid for this Ball State squad, and their ability to rely on her is the reason that they're in this set right now.
What a great game we've got going on. Teresa Beckman decides to take a timeout. 23-22. Cardinals a couple of points away from winning this game, but still a lot to be played for the Chippewas right in this one.
Absolutely, and this is a good call by Teresa. See if they can ice this server. Not only ice the server, but calm everybody down and say, all right, we just need a couple points here. This side out is going to be super crucial for us. Let's get a great pass. We can get the ball to our middles because that's our bread and butter, and we're probably going to score if that's what we're able to do.
Obviously, the Chippewas want to close it out now, but if Ball State can win this, they'll have all the momentum. Pressure will be back on CMU. So this is a big couple of points coming up as you see Coach Beckman trying to implore and get her team to get these last couple of points.
In my experience with her is she is an excellent motivator. Not a huge volleyball playing background. I think she played softball in college, but something that I always found with her was that she could motivate anybody, and that's something that I really took away from having her a part of my 4-year career. So does she know everything? Maybe not, but she can motivate you, and that I think is a great quality to have in someone on your coaching staff.
Went to Saginaw Valley, and you're right, Hallie, she didn't play volleyball. She played softball, but she went to a couple of camps, and she learned the game very well. She's been an assistant for quite some time under head coach Eric Olson, and obviously stepping in as the interim tonight for the Chippewas. Trying to pull off a big win. Trailing, though, 23-22 in set number 3. Vasilakis pops it up.
Great step up for that short serve.
Great diving effort by Vasilakis to keep it alive. Good defense by Schreiner on that far side.
Easy free ball. Ooh, not as easy as I thought.
Wolfis comes up with the dig. Sanchez.
A little frantic on the Central Michigan side where you see a little bit more cool and relaxed on the Ball State side. And it was more likely for them to get that point throughout that play. They were just in a little bit more control. Central was pretty frantic.
Emily Hallen puts the Cardinals within 1, 24-22. Set point for the Cardinals. Here we go. Sanchez over to Mike Tree, and this one's not over yet. The sophomore out of Brookfield, Wisconsin with some power. It's 24-23 Cardinals.
I just really enjoy her as a person, someone to play with, and someone who's like a bit of a surprise. She's just dynamic right when you need her to be. You would have loved to see that swing 2 or 3 swings ago, but you're just glad it came.
The senior Haley Barker sends it across.
Stick with it.
Diving effort. Now to Sanchez, gets it over, but a great play from Jenna Spadafora. Experience helping her there. She saw that there was a gap, and she knocked it through. And this one goes on, 2-1. Chippewa still in front, but a huge win, of course, for the Cardinals to keep this match alive.